Welcome to this video on the Zen World channel. My name is Sri Satguru Buddha Rawa Bhagwan. In today's video, we're going to talk about Buddhas, multiple Buddhas. So you may be familiar with the Buddha, or perhaps this is the first time you hear about the Buddha or Buddhas. There are different Buddhas, and Buddhas exist on the vibrationary field of enlightenment as an enlightened symbol, as a Buddha, as do all enlightened beings. And when they become enlightened, from the strips of enlightening symbols, from their symbol that becomes enlightened, their symbol travels through the tunnels to the opening, and as they enter the vibrationary field of enlightenment, the grid where all the symbols exist expands. And this is connected to the growth of the universe, as the enlightenment of beings is connected to the growth of the universe and the development of the beings that will oversee this growth and be a part of that growth. So Buddhas are administrators within the system, within the Kalachakra. And they administer their parts of the story, and the Shri are the divine beings that create the story. Both are equally important, and both are enlightened beings. Both have developed in different ways, and some can have tendencies of one or the other. But these are separate beings, the Shri and the Buddha. The Buddha is a level of development that can be attained. The Shri is a level of development that can be attained. It is possible to be a Shri and a Buddha. On the vibrationary field of enlightenment, the enlightened ones develop, and within the space of their development, oversee the development of creation and protect it. Their growth is the growth of creation. Buddhas administer other systems that come to them for direction. The Shri takes in the story and rewrites it. Both are a blessing and bring blessings. In today's video, we're going to talk about the story of a community of Buddhas, because there was a time when Buddhas walked the earth in communities, specifically one community, and they lived in caves, right, near Aurangabad. And the Buddhas lived there, and a community of Buddhas, and basically it was a community of enlightened people, right, enlightened Buddhas. And they had developed a technology where when new generations were taught, basically, they faced a wall, which was the wall where all the people that would be born in the society, all the society of Buddhas, all the kids would meditate in front of this one wall. And the masters had meditated in front of this wall and put a part of themselves within it that could be accessed by future generations, and they would practice and access a collective knowledge of the Buddhas, a collective achievement of the Buddhas. And in that way, the community of Buddhas grew in a symbiotic way. All unique, everyone unique, but with the experience and the achievement and the knowledge of the Buddhas that came before. a continuation of lineage, if you want to see it that way. So this was a technology that was used, the technology of using stone to basically, as a zone of transformation and as a zone of transmission and retention, because stone can retain and can transmit or can be accessed depending on the school of thought. So there was a society of Buddhas and they lived, and it was a beautiful society. A beautiful society. The Buddhas lived in the caves and the kids grew up, and life was beautiful. And so there are different Buddhas. And the Buddhas exist in the vibrationary field of enlightenment, but they also have a realm of their own where they exist in body, right? Because in the vibrationary field of enlightenment, you exist not in body, you exist in symbol, right? And in core and all these different things within the system, right? You're existing at that level of an enlightened being. But in body, the Buddhas also have a realm in paradise, one of the realms of heaven, which is a separate realm from the realm of the angels. And in the realm of the Buddhas, they have their own realm of heaven where they meditate in the air. They float in the air and meditate. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I don't know if I would be into it forever, maybe for a period of time, So the Buddhas meditate in the air in that realm of heaven, right? And in perfect meditation. And so the Buddhas, yes. So the Buddhas follow a stream of development which leads to becoming a Buddha. And the Shri follows a stream of development that leads to becoming the Shri. And what you can tell is in the story, things lead someone to take more the route of a Buddha or a Shri. So technically, you could say in a way that it's they have a destiny, right? To become one or the other, right? Or to become an enlightened master, to become an enlightened Zen master, to become an enlightened guru, to become, enlightened in different ways, right? A different type of being that's enlightened, right? And that's beautiful. So the Buddhas exist. The Buddhas are real, okay? And that's why there's the story of the Buddha in the system, because the Buddhas are real. And an alliance has been made at the level of the realms of heaven between the realm of Hinduism, if you want to see it that way, Rudra Shiva, the realm of the Buddhas, and the realm of the angels, where the God, the Father, descends in that realm, right, and instructs the angels in their development in the system and their processes, right? So the Buddhas are real, and there's an alliance between the angels, the Buddhas, the gods of Hinduism, and basically all the saints are allied with us, right? Everyone's allied, and the alliance goes far and deep. And actually, there used to be, it used to go far and deep, and now it goes far and deep and everywhere. That's how deep it goes. And it's complex to administer, actually, I'll tell you the truth. So there's a lot going on with the Buddhas and the Shris. Then you have the different levels of spiritual development that people are at, like Paramahamsas, you have gurus, you have siddhas, right? And then you have all the different levels at all of those levels, right? Think, each of those levels has like 10 levels within it, of achievement. So that's different. People are at different levels of progression spiritually. And this is for the advanced people. And then you have the regular people who haven't done any of these achievements, that might listen to these words one day, and for them, I'll tell you the best foot forward is the first foot forward, and then the second best is the second one. And then basically keep on repeat. After that, the best one's the first one, and then the best one's the second one. And repeat the cycle. That's it. You never stop. You know, you propel yourself, you go forward, you do it. You tell yourself, and that's how people succeed in spiritual practice. They actually commit to it, right? And they have karmic reasons as well for some people why it's easier and more prominent, and because some people are at different levels spiritually already. And then when they remember at what level they are at that level. So you could say that it's because of past achievements and past karma that you are at the level that you are. But you also develop in the lifetime that you are in to develop yourself back to that level that you are as a being, as you continue and maintain as a yogi eternal. And all is yoga. And all are yogis, whether they're practicing or not. You're all spiritual beings. You're all devas, light beings that get their light from the life and light of God, as is witnessed, and it lives every day at all the levels of the lokas. This is the energy distribution of light from above, and is represented in different lokas. You all get the light from God. And enlightened beings are enlightened in their window permanently, which means they have the ability to interact with the system in an enlightened way, which means it enlightens their ability to interact with the system. So Buddhas are beautiful beings. You know, once you've reached that level of a Buddha, once you practice to become a Buddha, you're really a beautiful being, you know. I would say the Buddha is a very beautiful being, and, you know, I would say hardworking usually, you know, to become a Buddha, right? Willing to put in the work. And I would say that a Shri is a different type of being. The Shri is a entertaining being, right? The Shri carries all the story and all the culture of everything around them and their time within them, and writes at that level, right? So the Shri is often a bit of a weird being. And some people would call a Buddha a weird being, but some people would call a Buddha a great being, you know? So it's all a matter of perspective, you know? And that perspective changes in life, right? If you're lucky enough, you realize that creation's more complex than you might have thought. And already that's a beginning, right? Understanding that it's possible there's things that you don't see that are happening. And what about parallel universes that are interconnecting? Well, what about it? Right? So these are some of the reasons why you have a Sadguru that exists, right? The Sadguru that comes, because the Sadguru knows about these things. So the Buddhas had their society of Buddhas, and it was wonderful. And I very much enjoyed the experience of the good times at that society of Buddhas. The Shri, they're a bit different. They exist in their box, right? Often a small place, a small box place type place. It represents basically the sanctum sanctorum of the temple, you know. of all the culture, and everything comes from the Shri. The Shri developed the story and the windows of the people and all these things. So the Shri are the divine beings, right? And that's why it's possible to develop into a Shri, but at the same time, the Shri are the Shri. So you develop into the Shri, it's true. And the Shri also exists in one visualization of the Shri as a window, with their face just in the window, with like rays of power coming out of their face. Right? And that window can connect to other windows. So the Buddhas and the Shri, different types of beings. And then you have all the beings that are saints, right? All those beings that are given city power, right? All those beings, including Buddhas, Shris, saints, Siddhas, Paramahamsas, all these beings that get city powers. And they all get their city powers either from a deity that distributes it from above, right? Or who receives it and then distributes it to them, or they get it from the chef himself of the parampara, of the gods. And city powers, when they're distributed in the system, are done so in the realm of a breakfast. And you actually have a menu that you visualize when you have that experience of being granted that city and remembering it. And you visualize the menu, and then you have access to certain things on the menu only. And that's what you're being granted, because the system sees everything and you're being judged. So if you've done some good things and you're granted little cities, it's good, that's great. And then how are you going to react? How are you going to react when you get level 1 cities, level 2 cities, level 3 cities? How are you going to react? What are you going to do? And the system is analyzing and watching all of this, right? So city powers are real, right? So everything's being watched by the system. The very air around you has a camera in it that's watching you. Think about it that way. Okay? And even when you think you're not being watched, you're probably being watched by someone physically as well. That's the age we live in. So the Shri, the Buddha, spiritual beings, very great spiritual beings. And those beings grow at the level of the energy lokas into the beings that they become. Enlightened beings, beings of power. And also some beings of great power. And one being of ultimate power, supreme power. This is the way of things. There's an organizational chart of gods and beings of power that do different functions. Thank you for listening to this video on the Zen Warrior channel.